Live from the big brown cozy chair. It's me. I'm back. I have decided I am allergic to the pencil this week. So, video blog again, it is. Um, I want to thank my friends who took the time to reach out to me after my last blog. Um, I'd like to think it was well received, although I kind of get the impression maybe there was a little commotion going on um, in my comment line, but everybody became passionate about what I had to say, and I think that is huge when you're a writer or a talker, a blogger. So that's a great compliment, and so thanks. I appreciate that. I have a really sensitive topic I'm covering tonight. That topic being, of course, my youngest son, Daniel. For those of you who don't know, Daniel does suffer from a mental health disorder. He is currently diagnosed as schizoaffective bipolar. He also suffers from an anxiety disorder as well. I apologize for my voice. I've done a lot of talking tonight, so I'm a little harsh and froggy, so to say. But I hope this is I hope this is good. I hope the quality is there. I'm just going to keep yammering, and I'm going to try to stay on topic. But Daniel's in a sensitive place right now. We've been doing this battle for 7 years, and he, when he was first diagnosed, he was doing a lot of drugs, and what we didn't know at the time was that he was self-medicating. You know, I kind of was under the impression I had a really bad kid, and I was very concerned about his drug use at the time. He smoked a lot of weed, which honestly, at this point in the game, I can't say was the worst thing he had done. But that did progress, and for the mind of someone like Daniel, um, it was serious. We had hoped his schizoaffective disorder was textbook, which in boys happens from 18 to 22, if it happens to them. And for a while we thought that was the case, and now apparently it's not. But here's the great thing that I can honestly say about my kid that I have not been able to say about him ever, really. This is the first time he's doing it sober. Um, he he had a bad doctor. He did not have the right meds, and his doctor continued him on these meds, and it has snowballed downhill. And so my last 2 days have kind of been, they've been a myriad of emotions and, high, low, blow ups, and I can't say most of that was for me because most of it was not. Um, but I was immensely sad yesterday. Um, and I think because I knew I was going to have to pull the plug on this situation and call the proper authorities for Dan, and with that coming, I kind of zoned out last night. I went for a drive, and I literally just drove and kept driving. And I had a friend on the phone at the time, and I got to tell you, that's key. Always discussing where you're at with somebody when you're like that is key, because I ended up in Belmar at some point. I don't even know where I thought I was going, but I just kept driving. Drove to Point, drove through Wall, back to Brick, back home. But I was raw and dazed. I was literally in a daze. That was me. Um, and that's so not like me. I'm usually looking for a productive end, and so I think today when I had to call to have Daniel picked up and taken for assessment, I thought I need to find a better way to channel my energy. I did some cooking, which I hadn't done in a while. I cooked an amazing dinner, and I started to fiddle with a project here. I've been trying to work on a closet. I'm a handy girl, but I'm frustrated by this project. But then I ran into a few friends earlier, special people I've known most of my life, and they really, between them and the extended family I had dinner with tonight, I thought it'd be good to sit down and talk about this. And I think, I know that word stigma sometimes doesn't stick in everybody's craw the right way, but the stigma of mental health is one of those things that, you know, there's a message in there that always needs to be received, and we just need to break through the stereotypes of what's not normal, and consider that it's just not healthy. A mom of a mentally ill son. He's 25 years old. He's not a small boy. He's practically genius. He's sweet and he's loving, but he's got his moments. My entire life doesn't stop because Daniel is in crisis. I give him what he needs. I help him where I can, and I have to help me in the process. You know, you can get self-absorbed in something like this, or I don't even want to say self-absorbed. You can be completely absorbed, and lose yourself in something like this. And never been me. I didn't have the greatest childhood. I grew up in a foster home. I had two broken marriages, unfortunately. You know, life wasn't always what I had expected it was going to be, and I always made the most of it. I have a house that I'm still sitting on from Hurricane Sandy, and although it's unfortunate and it sucks, I'm always making lemonade. One thing I'm working on right now is breaking my own stigmas. I find that I'm putting up walls when it comes to Daniel right now because I'm at that age in life where I'm thinking, okay, I'm single. Who's going to date me? Who's going to date the woman that has baggage? First person that looks at me in that manner isn't worth my time. I'm not that person. I am strong and I make stuff happen. I am a proponent for this disease. I am an advocate. And I don't get enough time to shout it from the rooftops as I would like to, but you know what? I would. Mental health disorders and mental illness affect everyone who's involved. There's the patient that's got this thing going on with them, but there's the families and their loved ones and their friends and their coworkers, and it affects everyone. Not everybody's sensitive enough to deal with that. Not everybody's strong enough to deal with that. And for sure, not everyone is patient enough to deal with that. You know, I used to say, I used to look at handicapped kids and their moms in public, someone in a wheelchair, someone, who is dealing with a retardation, someone dealing with autism, someone dealing with, um, quadriplegic. And I always look at those parents with the greatest respect and say, well, you know what? God knew I couldn't do that job, and that's why she's his mom. And then I got Daniel. He is extraordinary. And he's going to lead a better life. He's in a bad place right now. But I can't let his bad place put me in one. And I think that's the message that I think is the most important thing to share with people. Like with addiction, they say, hate the sin, but don't hate the sinner. There's so many unfortunate things that happen in life to people. And what we have to do as people, and in the last message I put forth, is be kind and be sensitive and be amazing. Be loving, be helpful. Or, you know, as my grandmother used to say, look at them, lift your eyes in prayer and say, there for the grace of God go I. Don't be a lesser person because someone else has a handicap. Smile at the mom who's struggling. She may smile back, and if she doesn't, understand why. I've been surrounded by addiction and, problems my entire life, and I am proud to say that I have never fallen into that. But, and I firmly believe God put Daniel and I on this journey together because that's why he made me this person. I was going to need to be his advocate. So it's a badge I wear with honor. So for anyone out there who's struggling, with someone who has a mental illness or Alzheimer's or you know, any kind of physical or mental handicap, I salute you. It's a lot to deal with. I take each day with grace. I want to be a better person for my son. And, if the plan is for me to not have someone special to share my life with someday, that's okay. This is my journey. I'm going to try to break from shielding and not talking about it, and I'm going to continue to be that advocate that I say I am. Everyone has a passion. My passion was born from something unexpected and sad. Okay, I have yammered on long enough. Just remember this when you see someone, even just looking sad or passing someone who's shedding a tear. Give them a smile. Offer them, the opportunity to say, hey, oh, look, a human being who gave me that little piece of kindness. That's sweet. It goes a long way. All right. Thanks again for listening. I know this was long, and I hope I got the message out that I was meant to tackle when I sat down in my big cozy chair. And I hope this finds you well.